Hi everyone. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. And we're getting now down close to the end of the semester, so I'm looking forward to our last couple of discussions this week. Will be one on cyberbullying, based upon the materials that you've had to look at over a Thanksgiving break. And then this actually will be the last video that I'm going to do, because this is the last set of materials to introduce. And so there's one more set of materials. There are 2 videos and 1 reading on a subject called the digital divide. Now, I don't know if this is a term that you're familiar with or not, but I've found it to be a pretty interesting topic that often generates a lot of good discussion. We've all gotten pretty used to depending upon the internet and having it at our fingertips at a very fast speed. I can remember, first of all, when we started with internet and it was dial-up and it would take forever to get a picture to load, for example, but things move so quickly at this point in time that really within a matter of milliseconds you can have a piece of information or you can be in contact with somebody just that quickly. And we've gotten used to being able to rely on the internet and satellites and for our communication that help us really to be able to stay in touch all the time, 24/7. And I think because we've gotten used to that, we may have a tendency to assume that that's the way it is for everyone. If you're a student at Stout, for example, you have a laptop, you probably have a mobile phone that you use, you may have multiple social media pages. I mean, you have lots of different ways to stay in touch. But that's made possible because each of us really has 24/7 access to the internet. And that's not the case everywhere in the world. In fact, most of the world does not have that kind of access, particularly with broadband speeds. And so this week, the digital divide, that topic, we're going to be talking about the difference between those that have access, ready access to the internet, and those who do not. And we're going to start kind of close to home. There's a video that I'd like you to read or to watch first of all. It's a little brief promo piece, really, from Comcast. Normally I wouldn't put up a promo piece, but I thought this one really did a nice job of describing what is meant by the digital divide. And then at the very last they talk about what sort of things Comcast is doing to deal with the issue. So watch that piece first. It's a nice little introduction into what we mean by the digital divide. But then I'd like for you to read the article, the Pew Report by Zicker and Smith, which has been out for about 3 years now, and talks about the digital divide and who has access to the internet in the United States and who does not. And you might be surprised how many people do not have ready access to the internet. And it's not just because they're really not interested. Lots of times it falls along economic and sometimes social and racial lines as well. So if you read that piece and watch the little intro from Comcast, you'll have an idea about the digital divide kind of close to home here in the United States. And then I want you to watch the video by Alef Molinari, and this is a TED Talk that he did a few years ago, where he talks about the digital divide worldwide. And as Molinari is talking about this, you discover that most of the people in the world really do not have ready access to the internet. And it's pretty much the norm in the United States and Europe, but in many places in the world this is not the case. And it really makes a difference to us being able to have access to the internet in terms of how quickly we can get a hold of information, how convenient things are in our lives, how quickly we can communicate with other people. But what if you didn't have that? That's really the question that Molinari poses. And then he talks about some of the solutions that they are trying to implement in Mexico to really deal with this difference that we call the digital divide. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a good discussion this week. This is and at the end of the discussion about the digital divide, our discussion board will be done. So I just want to say thank you for participating in the board this semester. I've enjoyed our discussions, and hope you've learned some things from the readings, from the videos, and probably most importantly from one another. All the best to you. Thanks.